Tom Brady. Well, I'm Greg Hardy. I'm gonna come out guns blazing. You're a fucking dead man. You're fucking crazy. I hope your wife's up in the stands, and I hope your sister's up there too. I'm gonna rip your face off. I'm gonna wear your skin as a suit.
What are you
You're
doing?
I'm fucking out of here. What?
What are you doing?
Oh, nothing?
The show's getting ready to
Oh,
start. We're already
sorry.
recording.
Sorry. Oh,
Jesus.
sorry. This is Worse Than 10. My name is Ray Jolly. This is Daniel Giannis. And this is week 5. And, sorry, that was Greg Hardy. He said some really weird shit today to reporters about Tom Brady. Said he was going to come out with guns blazing and made some comments about Tom Brady's sister and her friends and hope they were in the stands, which is really strange since he's just coming off suspension and was suspended for pushing his girlfriend down on a futon full of assault rifles. So welcome back to Dallas, Greg Hardy. And if you're a Dallas defensive owner of their defense, well, I hope that makes that defense better for you.
Might. Just
Yeah.
might.
Oh, and if you're watching this and you're in South Carolina, you're probably wet, or at least, very least, kind of damp. Bye weeks. There's 4 this week. Carolina, Miami, Minnesota, and the Jets. So there were only 2 last week. This is first week where it's really you're really probably going to feel it. So
Yeah, several teams are going to feel it. I mean, start rearranging your roster now.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the waivers.
going to be in a pinch this week. Yeah.
Don't ignore it. Don't forget about it, like a few people we know.
Yeah. We have a couple people on some teams that are going to be in a pinch. How'd you do this week? Your fantasy team?
I won. I actually
Won?
won. It was a tight game, but some guys came through that we'll talk about a little later.
Yep. I went 2 for 3, so not bad.
Not bad.
Let's talk about the Chiefs. They blew another one. They almost had them where they wanted them, but
Just when you think you have it, and then they do what they have always done. That's for me. They just shit the bed. And
Yep.
they got some offensive line issues that they really got to
do.
hash out.
And we're watching that Bears game at the same time, and suddenly the Bears started giving a shit. So that could be a scary matchup next week.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're gonna definitely put some pressure on the Chiefs, and I just hope they don't decide to wake up and play the best game of the season against them. But
They make Jay Cutler look like a good pickup for next
could.
week if you're in a pinch for quarterback. The Chiefs are giving up the most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks, actually, through 4 weeks. So Cutler is going to be a good pickup for this week.
but a counterpoint to that is the Bears have given up some of the most receiving touchdowns out of any team. I think they've given up something like 11. So they're starting to find Jeremy. Alex Smith, if you give him a couple of
again.
seconds instead of -5,
If he's not running for his life.
he might do some damage. So
Yep.
we'll see.
London game was an early game, 8:30. Did you watch that?
Watched a little bit of it. I
Little
tried
bit.
to set my alarm, but
Yep. Be sure to set your lineups. There's 2 more of those. If you don't set your lineups, then you're just a fucking idiot. There's no excuse. I mean, if you set it for
get on
Thursday
that.
games, have your shit in for the early game. You're a moron if you don't. The Colts, they won without Andrew Luck. Crazy. Andrew Luck and Matt Hasselbeck are both questionable for tomorrow's game. So that kid, what's his name? Who cares?
Who gives a fuck?
Who gives a shit? Don't pick him up. But
No.
they re-signed him again. Poor guy. Sign, cut. Players that returned to glory this week. Holy shit. Jeremy Hill. Finally.
He finally needed.
Finally.
He needed a big day.
He not only popped his cherry this week, but he had a fucking Mandingo party on the field. 3 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. He nutted all over the field.
That he certainly did.
Amazing. Justin Forsett, 150 yards. Finally.
He's starting to look sharp.
Yes.
Last 2 weeks, actually.
Thank God. Doug Martin, 150 yards at touchdown. Finally, Tampa Bay is not winning, but showing signs of fantasy life.
Your boy CJ.
CJ Spiller finally on the field and healthy. Had some. They're getting him involved in the offense, and capped it off with a fluke 80-yard touchdown pass. I'll take it.
That was awesome.
I didn't start him, but I will next week and hope for some more fluky plays. Let's talk about kickers, which we wrote on our website that kickers don't matter really in fantasy, and who gives a fuck about kickers? But
Unless he is Kairos Santos.
yeah,
And here's the dilemma. My kicker was on a bye week last week, and I almost picked him. I said, hey, he's a Chief. I'll pick Santos. No, I go for Blair Walsh. Gives me a solid 8 points. Kairos Santos blew it up.
And what did
for a
Santos
career day.
score?
27 fantasy
27
points.
points,
Fuck.
which is
Oh,
more
man.
than most quarterbacks scored last week.
Very true, including Peyton Manning.
Yeah, more than Peyton Manning, more than Tyrod Taylor, who's been a top 5 quarterback since the beginning of the season. More than more than most people. That's running back one numbers.
He is a guy to look at, too, by the way, because if the Chiefs don't start finding the red zone, end zone in the red zone,
He's the number one scorer for the
he
Chiefs
is.
right now.
No, he is, yeah.
Something else about kickers to take note, and make sure that your kicker still has a job. Kickers are getting fired every week. It's important to make sure your kicker hasn't been fired. I've never seen so many extra points. Well, I know they backed it up, but even regular field goals, I've never seen so many get missed this year. Everyone is missing field goals. And then next thing you know, Monday or Tuesday, your kicker's fired. So that hasn't happened to me yet, but I know a lot of players had their kickers been fired, and they have to go to waivers to pick up another kicker. So keep an eye on your kicker. So you have to hit waivers to get another one. This week we see the return of Martavius Bryant from suspensions. Martavius Bryant and Antonio Gates. What does Martavius Bryant do for Pittsburgh?
Well, I think they're going to have.
That's a Monday night game, so Vic has Monday night to get some timing down, some timing issues down. He apparently has with Antonio Brown.
I don't really think he's going to have it down by Monday. I mean, I think he's just coming back. Michael Vick is. I mean, he's having a hard enough time as it is.
Yeah.
So
last week he threw only 2 passes over 20 yards the entire game, and one went through the hands of Antonio Brown for a drop touchdown.
If you have to start him, I would say go ahead and start him. But
if you have to, if you're in a bind, otherwise I wouldn't
bench this weekend.
I'd bench Martavius until he proves to you. Martavius is one of those guys you can hit him in the middle of the field, and he'll make shit happen. You don't have to hit him long. But I'd wait a week and see what he does for you. Also, San Diego as a team gives up the second least yards to fantasy wide receivers. So that's something to think about. That's if you're only in a jam, start him. Antonio Gates, I think Monday night gets his 100th touchdown. I agree. That is probably a must start. I know I was tough on Antonio Gates at the beginning of the season, but I think he's a definite flex play. Even if you have a good tight end, I'd say put him in a flex position. I think he gets at least 1 touchdown.
He does.
At least 50 yards.
I think he's actually going to have a big weekend.
I think he's a must start.
Ladarius Green's kind of struggling still with his concussion, so he's going to get a lot of looks.
I still like Ladarius. I do too. Keep Ladarius if you have him, but Antonio Gates is a definite pickup. Everywhere he's gone. He's not out there anymore. He's on teams now. Yeah, I tried to pick him up in 3 leagues. He's way gone. Here's 5 guys on the rise. I think you still haven't. Leonard Hankerson is gone. You have a shot with him. 103 yards, a touchdown. That guy's on fire. Roddy White is pissed. Roddy White's job is gone. Leonard Hankerson's the guy. You're not going to find him on waiver wires. But I like him. I wanted to talk about him. These are four guys, so I think you could definitely find. Boobie Dixon. If he starts in place of Carlos Williams in Buffalo, because he's on concussion protocol, I think you can get him. He's going to run the ball at least this week. I think that's a good plug-in for your flex or running back for the bye weeks. Kamir Aiken for Baltimore. He had 77 yards, a touchdown last week.
Didn't know who he was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, for Steve Smith Sr., I think that's a great fill-in. Jake Cutler, we talked about. He had 281 and a touchdown, 1 pick last week. That's not bad against, the Raiders, but against the Chiefs to give up even more yardage. And Duke Johnson. Hello, Cleveland. I mean, their running game still blows ass, but 31 yards, 10 receptions for 85 yards and touchdown. They can't run the ball. The line still blows dick, but apparently they can throw it out of the backfield just fine. So those 5 guys I like on the rise. You like it?
I like all those guys. Alan Hearns, if you haven't picked him up yet, and he's
Like
still
him.
available on the waiver, off the waiver. I was looking at him; he was still available in one of our leagues. Pick him up if you have already. You're ahead of the game.
Like him, yeah. You probably should have picked him up a week ago.
Yeah,
And I have five players on the decline, or I just want to talk shit on. Ryan Tannehill, just god awful so far this season. Yeah. He actually has the worst passer rating in the league, and his own players are making fun of him. His practice squad this week was just quoted is they pick him off all the time, and he talks shit back to him and says, have fun collecting your practice squad check. The coach who was just fired had to tell him to take it easy on him, but we don't want to blow his confidence. So that whole
I think he's already shot.
that whole fucking team's mess. I didn't like him on Hard Knocks, honestly, on HBO when he was drafted. And Tannehill said, I don't even know who he's in our division. So I didn't like Tannehill in the beginning of the season on the show. I don't even think I had him in the top 20 or 15 quarterbacks. If I had him, I swear to God, I would drop him like a hot condom filled with homeless guy semen. This guy is just fucking terrible. I can't stand him.
Agree.
Yeah.
I agree. He's awful.
On the semen part or dropping him quarterback?
On all the above.
Yeah. Calvin Johnson, Jesus, how long before...
Man,
you've got to
what a
trade this guy.
drop-off.
Trade him for something. Trade him for a bag of fucking chips. 2.6 points this week and a fumble into the end zone, which caused that controversial play. I love Calvin Johnson. I don't know if he's too old now or if it's the offensive lines or if it's just fucking Detroit. If it's just a shitty city. But it's bad. Michael Vick, we talked 2 passes over 20 yards. I don't know. That's just bad. Rashard Matthews, we were so high on him last week. Pick him up. Go all in.
Sure.
1 reception for 16 yards. The Dolphins are shit. The only thing great about that city is to retire there, except the humidity's bad too. Yeah. Odell Beckham, talk shit on him. 39 yards against the Bills. I took him in the early second round. He was fined $9,000 for punching a Buffalo Bill in the face. They caught on camera later. He's bitching because he didn't like they wouldn't let him catch the ball. He's a douchebag. So, anything?
Oh, no. I mean, I think some of those guys are
declining
going to...
players you have?
Well, actually I have guys on the rise more than anything else.
Oh, any more?
I mean, once again, Jeremy Maclin, I was saying earlier, I think Maclin, if he's going to start for me, I think the Chiefs have finally found the guy. And like I said, I think Macklin's going to have a decent day against Chicago. So,
good.
He's going to be the guy. I don't know. I mean, I picked up Arian Foster. I know we've...
Oh, yeah, that's one of the decline I want to ask you about. How'd that trade go? What'd you give up for that?
I gave up Amir Abdullah for him.
Straight up, or there was something
No, well,
else?
Jeremy Maclin also was who I got for. So I think I got a pretty good trade-off. Jeremy Maclin and Arian... I think it was Jeremy Maclin and... Shit, getting my leagues confused.
Yeah.
Amir Abdullah is for sure. I traded for him, but I got Jeremy Maclin and Arian Foster, and I gave Javier Amir Abdullah, and I got Maclin and
really?
Yeah, that was the trade. It was Maclin, Arian Foster, for
that's,
Amir Abdullah.
That's
so
amazing.
I think
man.
it's a great trade. If
that's correct, then you pulled off the trade of the century. But
that I did.
All right, that sounds better.
He didn't give me even 1 point.
Half a point.
Half a point.
Half a point.
So
I don't know if it's time to start. Like I said last, it's still. I don't know, man. I'm so glad I don't know him in any leagues. It's still too early.
It's too early to call. If
they're always going to be playing from behind.
They are. I mean, I'll probably start him again this week, but
because if you have to, you have to.
All right, play that.
Let's do our first question. This is from Demise at Twin Peaks during lunch today. I had lunch with him. After 4 weeks, is Carlos Hyde an every week starter going on, or should I trade him for something? I don't know. They're stacking the box against Hyde because Kaepernick is fucking
Dog
not.
shit
He's
right
not
now.
doing
He's
it.
not.
I still like Carlos
I
Hyde.
do too. I'd keep him.
I'd
I
keep
like the
him. I'm going to
guy.
keep him on my roster. I think
I wouldn't
the
trade him.
49ers are going to find out a way to zone block and get him, find a way to work him in the offense better. I keep him.
They'll work on it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade him at all.
I wouldn't trade him yet. And I've seen Demese's roster. He doesn't have much left. It's
Yeah.
pretty bleak. Jim Shell in Colorado Springs said, I already have a great tight end. Should I start Antonio Gates? I guess he picked or had him as a flex. Definitely.
Absolutely. That's a no fucking
Start him as a
brainer.
flex for sure. At least this week. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
So,
I think he's going to be awesome this week.
yeah. All right, we got anything else?
Yeah. Our DraftKings
Oh,
up
yeah.
this week.
Yep.
First off, I did absolutely awful this week, and Reed was the caboose.
Did
he
worse.
was fucking dead last. I've
Not
told
dead last.
people
39th out of 50.
I was. Did you get up to 39?
Mhm.
I had
At
to.
least that's what I'm saying on camera.
Okay.
I thought it was 39, but
You might have pushed up. I know I was
Oh.
46.
it'll be on the
So,
website, the final, so they'll know for sure.
It wasn't good.
No, it
nevertheless.
wasn't
And-
pretty.
And I went with
I'm
some
ashamed.
underdogs. I went with some guys that I really thought, and that's just the thing with fantasy. You just never know.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
you
a
never know.
crapshoot.
But we have it up. I think you guys should play.
Yep,
It's been filling up every week. You guys should play. A
definitely.
lot of people
Try
are
to
having
beat
fun.
us, and then you can go on our Facebook and brag about it and talk shit to us.
I
Yep,
agree.
definitely.
I agree.
Yeah, just go to our Facebook or our website and click the link, and you can register there. And whatever you register the money, you get it back. They match it. So, and try to beat us. It's only a 50-person league. We keep it small, and that way you have a chance of winning.
Yep.
Honestly, so it's a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Later.